Are you tired of too many meetings, especially the ones that are a big waste of time? Well, there's a bigger problem that costs you more time and energy than formal meetings. Want to know what it is? How to stop it? Watch this short video. I'm Bob Wendover. You know the drill. You sit down to focus on a project before you even log into your laptop, though. Someone interrupts you with a quick question, or maybe someone approaches you in the restroom needing a quick decision, or perhaps you're trying to get out of the door to an appointment and someone blocks the door to ask you for a quick opinion. And here's the thing, 99% of quick questions are not quick, aren't they? We spend a great deal of time talking about how wasteful so many scheduled meetings turn out to be. You know the ones. They drag on with no real direction. Then there are the standing meetings that seem to exist because we always meet on Mondays. Or perhaps it's the meetings that the boss calls so he can announce something that really could have put in an email. Like you, I've been subjected to all three of these time wasters and lots of others. But these are not the meetings, interestingly enough, that steal so much of your time. When you add them all together, the quick questions and quick decisions are the ones that consume the most time. And on top of this, they're unexpected. You can't plan around them. They distract you right in the middle of focusing on something else. Now, you don't want to be rude by saying, "Get out of my face." So you feel trapped, especially if you're the leader or supposed to have all the answers, right? So what can you do to manage these situations? Well, here are three in-the-moment approaches that work for me and lots of others. And I say in the moment because you must have the presence of mind to use them when these quick questions arrive. So give them a try. I'll tell you more about in the moment in a second. Number one, give them the finger. No, not that finger. Just hold up your index finger and they will stop talking. Trust me. And when they do, you will have the chance to ask the answer to state concisely what they need. Does that sound abrupt? Yeah, perhaps. But if they can't get to the bottom line in a sentence or two, they probably haven't thought through what they really need. Most people begin these kinds of interruptions with an explanation of context. And, they might say something like, "I know you're busy, but," or, "I've been thinking about." But if you say yes, you're going to get stuck. Instead say, "Well, I'm focused on something else right now. Exactly what do you need?" And if they can't state a concise question or explanation, say, "Why don't you shoot me an email about this and I'll get back to you within 24 hours. And if I need more detail, I will come to you." I know one leader who arranges her day around 15-minute segments. If necessary, she says, "Get on my calendar for 15 minutes, but make sure you send me the context first so I'm prepared." Don't fall into the trap of thinking, "I should just settle this now so I don't have to deal with it later." If you do, these situations will multiply like rabbits. Trust me. Now, number two, say perhaps instead of saying yes when they ask if you've got a minute. This alternative allows you to ask a clarifying question or two to determine whether this is truly an easily answered question or something more complicated. If it turns out to be the latter, ask them to send you an email, like I mentioned before, with the context and the issue and options for resolution. And this will compel them to think through the issue, saving you time. If you persist with this practice, those around you will adapt. Number three, take a breath. Now, this works best when the other person approaches you with a sense of crisis. You know the type. They make it sound like the issue has already reached disastrous proportions. Well, take a clue from aviation. In a crisis, pilots are taught to aviate, navigate, and communicate in that order. In other words, fly the plane, determine what's wrong and what can be done about it, and then communicate with air traffic control. From your standpoint, take a breath to center yourself and remove the energy from the situation. Then ask a couple of clarifying questions to determine the seriousness and urgency of the situation. And finally, act, or maybe more likely, ask the other person to resolve the situation themselves with your trust and backing. Now, you may be thinking, "Hey, these sound like great ideas, but how am I going to develop the presence of mind to use them when the need arises?" Well, here's what I did. I stood in front of a mirror and rehearsed them out loud, as they might take place in real time. I had to get comfortable hearing these words coming out of my mouth. Does that sound silly? Well, believe me, it works. Where did I get this idea? Actually, from someone else who was struggling with the same challenge. As leaders, we have to help each other. So what works for you? Put your ideas in the comments below and make sure to subscribe to this channel for more ideas just like these. I'm Bob Wendover.